So let's get cracking and go inside our mind. All right. So let's just bring our mind to the same place our body is. And I mean, it does sound a bit strange to say that, but you know, the mind is here, there, and everywhere, and very often not in the same spot as the body. So it's good to get grounded at the end of the day. And check your feet. If they're down on the ground, make sure they're parallel and the legs aren't crossed. And something firm underneath your sits bones, and can raise them slightly. This also helps to align the spine, and it also helps if your hips and knees are tight. You can also put cushions underneath each knee. Hands are in the meditation mudra. Right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. But you know, if you are doing yoga or meditation or any other kind of form like this, and you have a different way of placing your hands, for the purposes of right now, this short half hour, whatever is comfortable is totally fine. I'm just telling you what's in the text. So shoulders are aligned with the hips. And let's just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. You can imagine somebody is lengthening your spine by just very gently pulling on that string, just slightly stretching it. Imagine also your neck is stretching up and gliding back to align with your shoulders. Now the head is slightly tipped forward. It's not too far forward with your chin down on your chest, or with the chin tipped up, because that creates agitation in the mind. If your chin is too far forward, you'll just fall asleep. So you want to be somewhere in the middle, and a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. Let's bring our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead and the eyes. And take your attention to the back of the eye socket. And just relax that whole area. Relax the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. And the jaw. Now bring your awareness to the back of the head, the occipital bone area, and relax the scalp there. So this is at the base of the skull. And then just notice your jaw relaxing, the back of the tongue, the temple. And as you do that, your face will relax again. And release any tension in the back of the neck, the shoulders, shoulder blades, in between the shoulder blades, the upper thoracic area. Relax your throat, chest and belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And then bring the mind to the breath. Just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling. It's kind of a little bit cooler than the air you are exhaling. Slightly warmer. Take a nice deep breath if you wish. Just relax. If there are any sounds in your environment, either in your home or outside, just notice what attracts your mind, what distracts you, what do you immediately run to with the mind when you hear a sound, or what do you push away? And allow those sounds, if they're there, to just fade become all kind of blurry and fade into the background. And then notice your thoughts as they arise, abide, and then just dissolve. If you don't engage your mind with your thoughts, they will just dissolve away. So whether your mind is still on your work from today or is moving towards tomorrow, just allow the thoughts to run, keep the mind stable. Just bring the mind back to the breath. So let's just bring to mind all the people of our life. The ones we love, the ones we reject, push away, the ones who we're fairly indifferent to. And just remember that they can possibly, it is possible that they can change place at any time in your life. It's really good to have that awareness. Then it's also great if we can give all those three separate groups of people our equal concern. And as I say, I know it's difficult because we are human. It's just an experiment in a way. Think about what it would be like to see all people equally. To love that stranger as much as you do your closest friend. Or the enemy. It would be interesting. And certainly the mind would be calmer. And they all deserve our equal concern because every one of these people in our life want to be happy and don't want to suffer. And they all have this unbelievable capacity for the enlightened mind. So bring the mind back to the breath as we motivate. We're going to do this meditation this evening, this Vajrasattva purification meditation for all the people of our life, for all sentient beings. And we think about all those people in Ukraine. It just seems to be a never-ending nightmare for them. For all the people in Russia, Poland, all through Europe. And then everybody that's suffering from COVID still. I mean, I could go on forever about all the people that need our prayers. But if there's anyone in your own mind as well, you can include them. So the thing to remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we're using the mind to purify the mind. So the first of the four opponent powers is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. So think specific actions of both the body and the speech. And the reason we're regretting is based on this logic of karma. The suffering we have caused others is going to ripen as suffering in the future for us. So logically, we want to pull out all those weeds before they turn into future suffering. Karmic weeds, seeds. So I think I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we'll also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And again, think, I'm sick of this suffering. So what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has methods that we can use to purify. And we're not asking Buddha to forgive us. It's not this kind of relationship. We're wanting to use his methods to heal ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva is on the crown of your head, about 2 inches above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, your trusted mentor, somebody who's leading you on the spiritual path. And if you don't have one of those, you can imagine this is the mind of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Yeshe, just anyone you've received teachings from that means something to you. But anyway, it just makes it a little bit more personal, because right now what we're looking at is a Tanka painting. So it's very hard to imagine this holy living being above the crown of our head. So he's made of light, radiant, blissful white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our potential, our enlightened potential is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. His face is radiant and beautiful. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. And his sweet red mouth, his hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, symbolizing enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently, and just develop a sense of compassion in your mind. This is a wish for them to not suffer. And the same for the people who have harmed you, although a little bit more difficult, because the harm they've caused you is going to ripen for them as some kind of negative suffering in the future. I think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification and the mantra recitation with a visualization. So first is a purification of the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sending white, sort of powerful white nectar, like coming out of, almost like coming out of a fire hose or like a huge waterfall, and is very forceful from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until eventually it forces out, pushes out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of this kind of inky liquid. And it pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient with your body is now completely purified, and think that there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And so the next is a purification of speech, and Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra again, and this arcs around and very forcefully enters your crown again, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And it also equally quite forcefully overflows or pushes out and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you and lying and all their useless speech, all this rubbish. So rabbiting on whether anyone wants to listen to you or not, that kind of speech, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava Anurakta me bhava savasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And just imagine everybody that hears you speak only benefits from hearing your voice. So it's not possible for you to do anything other than benefit others with your voice, with your speech, with whatever sound comes out of your mouth. So next is the purification of the mind. And imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sending light this time from his heart and this kind of arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room and switch on a light and the room's dark, that light instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So just as the light hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your delusions, all your anger and attachment and grasping and neediness and jealousy and bitterness and grudges and wishing to harm and wanting revenge, all of this is instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally gone. And think that there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and wisdom and kindness and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you can imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar again from his heart, pours into you. You can, if you like, you can do a couple of mantras each for the visualization of the body and of the speech and of the mind. Otherwise, just imagine light and nectar pouring into you and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame matsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next we come to the power of resolve, this very crucial step where we make a decision to refrain from harming. So you may have been working on something for a while. You can revisit that if you wish. Maybe extend the length of time you're refraining from doing something, try something new, but also rejoice in your efforts and your progress. So super important. So we just decide we're going to refrain from harming. We're going to refrain from this particular habit that we've been doing for eons. And also to remember not to give yourself too much of a hard time if you trip up or forget, because we are human and it does happen. So we always have an opportunity to start again. Okay, slowly, slowly. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union oneness. So Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. And in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can think perhaps the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So we're just trying to break down our concrete view of the world, of things, of people. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all the people of your life, to all sentient beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Tub Shul Chiang Shin Jam Gon Gyal Wei Tenzin Kyong Pel Wei Kun Zo Dog Por Ze Chog Sum Kur Wei Leg Mon Tu Dro Padag Sol Du Je Gon Du Shab Ten Shog. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-Share, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, gone like a dream. So you people in Santa Fe, get yourselves some air filters, please. And do take care, and lots of love, everybody. Thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Good night. Sleep well. Thank you. Bye.